Okay, this is Ahmed Sarwar. Welcome you all to Let Us Know. Today we are going to discuss about child development and pedagogy topic. Some multiple choice questions. The topics were discussed in earlier video. You can see, and multiple choice questions will be discussed today on various theory, Piaget theory, Vygotsky theory, Kholberg's theory of moral development. Okay, let's start our today's discussion. First question: 4 distinct stages of children's intellectual development are identified by. Options are given: Erikson, Skinner, Piaget, and Kholberg. Okay, here first option, Erikson was a psychologist. He has developed 8 stages of psychological development. Next we find here Skinner. As we have in earlier video, we have discussed about learning theory. We have go through his name and his work. So what he actually developed? He developed operant conditioning theory. Okay, where there is no stage. The stage actually comes when some scientist or worker actually deals with the age level of a particular group. Then stages and levels comes. Here you see next option given, Piaget. Piaget provides 4 distinct stages: sensory motor stage, pre-operational, concrete operational, then formal operational stage. Okay. Next, the option is given Kholberg. He develops the development of morality. So in his theory, he provides 3 levels. Okay, pre-conventional, conventional, and post-conventional. Again, he divides each level into 2 stages. So here our correct option will be Piaget. Okay, as he has given 4 stages. So next question please. Here you can take screenshot some information about that particular psychology scientist. Okay, now we can move to next slide. When children think to interpret the received information according to their experiences is called. Okay, experience means whichever we have gathered, whichever we have gone through, whichever we can visualize, we can experience basically. So here the options are given. First option, concrete thinking. Second, reflective thinking. Third, abstract thinking. Then creative thinking. What is concrete thinking? Concrete means something which we can feel physically, we can touch. Okay, that means which we can think by our sense organ physically. This is concrete thinking. Reflective thinking, it's involved in judgmental thinking. Okay, what is right, what is wrong? Here reflex thinking works. Abstract thinking, just opposite to concrete, it is hypothetical. Suppose something imaginary thinking, motion of electron, planetary motion, these things are abstract thinking. Then creative thinking. Obviously creative thinking means something to generate new, something to create new. The thinking process is known as creative thinking. So here our correct option will be, as it is experience which we can visualize, we can feel, this one will be number A. Okay. So our next slide will be, next question. A teacher shows two identical glasses filled with an equal amount of juice in them. She empties them in two different glasses, one of which is taller and other one is wider. One is taller and other one is wider. She asks her class to identify which glass would have more juice in it. Student reply that the taller glass has more juice. Her student have difficulty in dealing with. Okay, the teacher has provided some juice in two different patterns of glasses. One is taller, one is wider, but both volume are similar. When you put it in front of your kids, your children, so they will not able to judge about their volume. They will just simply visualize the size, length, these things. Okay, options are given: accommodation, egocentrism, decentering, and reversibility. So first option here, accommodation. What does it mean? It means that when we receive some schema or pocket of knowledge, we simply acquire these things, which is assimilation. And by the process of assimilating, we can change our previous concept. Okay, this process is known as accommodation. Egocentrism. Egocentrism is the process in which a child thinks whatever he is feeling, the rest world is also feeling the same. This is egocentrism. Decentering. Decentering means changing of substances from one state to other, one visual form to other, but the center, that is the amount, remains same. Reversibility. Okay, you can understand what is reversibility. Reversibility is the process by which we can make something reverse. That means we can change the direction. So our correct option here will be decentering, because the teacher is keeping the juice in same volume, just changing the shapes of the container. Next question, here you see, Sita has learned to eat rice and dal with her hand. When she is given dal and rice, she mixes rice and dal and starts eating. She has eaten rice and dal into her schema for doing things. First option is given, assimilated. Second is appropriated. Third is initiated. Fourth is accommodated. So as we already discussed about the terms used in Piaget theory, here we have seen assimilated means when we receive some information and we fit it in our mindset. We capture the information, that is, we capture the schemas. It is assimilation. Okay, and as a result of assimilation, accommodation occurs. Here Sita learns, that means she gathered the knowledge about how to eat. So it is, option is assimilated. Correct option, assimilated. Next slide. Which one of the following is a correctly matched pair? Options are given: formal operation, child imitation begins, imaginary play. Two things are given: child imitation begins and imaginary play. Okay, imaginary play is correct because hypothetical thinking occurs at formal operation stage, while child imitation, that means copying, is not at formal operational phase. Okay, second one, concrete operational, they are given child is able to conserve and classify. Yes, at concrete operational period we have seen in the characters that child is able to conserve and they can classify the things, they can classify in arrangement, higher order, lower order, this thing at concrete operational period. Here you see a number, option C is given, pre-operational child deductive thought. No, at pre-operational period, for deductive thought you must be enabled with logical thinking. Then at pre-operational stage, logical thinking, there is no logical thinking in a child. It comes from concrete operation, the logical thinking. Then infancy applies logical and is able to infer. No, our correct answer will be option B. Concrete operational child is able to conserve and classify. Here you can see the table which shows the characteristics and the stages. Next question. In the context of language development, which of the following area was underestimated by Piaget? Okay, we have already gone through the Piaget theory. What he says, the developmental factors are, first one is biological maturity, that means heredity, and environmental factors. Okay, here you see the options are given: heredity, B, social interaction, C, egocentric speech, and D, active construction by the child. And the question is given, in the context of language development, which of the following area was underestimated by Piaget? Piaget has just ignored. This option will be, correct option will be social interaction, because he have not said anything about social interaction. Vygotsky has focused on social interaction, sociocultural theory he has proposed. So here our correct option will be B, social interaction. Next slide. Which one of the following is not a limitation of pre-operational thought? Okay, limitation means something which is having negativity, that is limitation. Here option you see reversibility. Which of the following is not? Keep in mind it is given is not. So reversibility, yes, reversibility. Suppose children cannot think about that water and ice. Water can be converted into ice, and ice can be converted into water. This reversibility they cannot think about at their lower age level. So this is their negative point. Tendency to concentrate. Tendency to concentrate is also a negative point. Then development of symbolic thought. Yes, this is their positive. Yes, this is positive point. Here development of symbolic thought. And next one is given egocentrism. Egocentrism means, as we have already said, that child feels as if everyone feeling the same. This type of feelings is egocentrism. So our correct option here will be development of symbolic thought. Next question, which of the following is not among the 4 determinants of intellectual growth stated by Piaget? Intellectual growth, intellectual means cognitive, okay, cognitive development here. In other words, it is said intellectual growth. First option is given social transmission, experience, equilibration, and none of the above. We have studied Piaget theory, and he said the factors are biological maturation, that is heredity, and environment. The options are given social transmission, which is absent in Piaget theory. Next is experience. Yes, he said that with by the experience, student or learners or child can develop his cognitive process. Equilibration means, as we already discussed, this equilibration is the process by which someone's imagination is equally matched with his real experience. Suppose I have imagined about Taj Mahal, and when I experienced with my eyes, so I have seen, yes, my imagination was correct, which is totally matching with my imagination and live experience. This is equilibration. Okay, here our correct option will be A, social transmission. Next question, the cognitive ability that comes in pre-operational period is, okay, pre-operational period is second stage of Piaget theory. We have already studied. First one is sensory motor, then is pre-operational period. Here the options are given hypothetical deductive thinking, ability for abstract thinking, ability of goal directed behavior, ability to take others' opinion. Here first option, hypothetical, means imaginary thinking, and deductive thinking means something logical thinking, which is imaginary logical thinking, hypothetical deductive thinking. B is given ability for abstract thinking. These are the characteristics of formal operational period. This is here in our question, it is given what is the characteristics and ability of a child at pre-operation. So A and B is not our right answer. C is given ability of goal directed behavior. Yes, at that particular stage, that is pre-operational stage, a child is goal directed. Whatever he sees, he moves behind it. Okay, he tries to catch it, he tries to touch it. This is his goal directed behavior. Next option is given ability to take other opinion. No, this is not correct, because at that particular stage, that is pre-operational period, kids are egocentric. They cannot take other opinion. So our correct option will be ability of goal directed behavior. Here is our next question. Which of the following stages are involved in infants think with their eyes, ears, and hands? Eyes, ears, and hands, what are they? They are what? Sense organ. So options we can read here: A, concrete operational stage; B, pre-operational stage; C, sensory motor stage; and formal operational stage. As we have already discussed, what happens in concrete, what happens in pre-operational stage, and sensory. So here as it is dealing with sense organ, so definitely our correct choose will be sensory motor stage. Clear? Next slide. Fitting new information to existing schemas is known as, okay, it is from Piaget theories. Here fitting new information into existing schemas is known as. To feed something which already exists in your mind, schemas means pocket of knowledge or information. Here options are given: accommodation, equilibration, assimilation, and organization. Okay, so we have gone through whenever we get some information and we gather this into our existing thought is the process of assimilation, and accommodation is the process by which we change our thinking. After assimilation, accommodation occurs. In this question it is said the existing schemas, that means new information is given into existing schema, that just it is provided, so it is not the change, it is simply implemented here, so it is assimilation, not accommodation. Okay, accommodation is the next step when the existing thought changes and becomes new thought. This one is accommodation. Do not get confused. Clear? Next question. Retrieving hidden objects is evidence that infants have begun to master which of the following cognitive functions? Okay, we have learned in sensory motor stage what happens when child is from just, it starts from birth to 2 years. At that particular stage object permanence occur, that means something is hidden to him, but he once have visualized, he will feel that these things is existing at particular time. Okay, as although this may not present here, so our correct option will be object permanence. Next, cognitive development means. What does cognitive means? It means knowledge, intelligence, intellectual, these things basically meant by cognitive. And cognitive development means, here the options are given: development of intelligence, development of child, development of physical skill, development of individual. Our correct option will be development of intelligence. Next question. In a constructivist classroom as envisioned by Piaget and Vygotsky, learning. Okay, Piaget and Vygotsky, on the perspective of development, they are disagree in various points, but there is also some similarity. Okay, here in a classroom, in a constructivist classroom, the learning, what means by Piaget and Vygotsky, the options is given: is offering of reinforcement by the teacher. Yes, according to Vygotsky it is correct, but according to Piaget it is not correct. Here he has not mentioned any reinforcement by the teacher in his theory. Second one is given: is constructed by the students themselves who play an active role. Yes, it is said by both of them. As Piaget said that student or children have the ability to get information when they interact, when they work, they experience. Okay, they can develop their cognitive development, this process. So Vygotsky also says in his sociocultural theory, he says by social interaction, that is with interaction with environment somehow related. As Piaget said, interaction with environment influence the cognitive development. Here this point is resembling in both theories. C is given, is directed by the teacher and the students recipient of the same. Students are passive recipient of the same. Yes. In these options, it is said that teacher and the students are recipient, passive recipients, okay, to one another. D option is given, happens by pairing of stimulus and response. No, this is stimulus response is not said by any of them. So our correct option will be option B, is constructed by the students themselves who play an active role. Next question. According to Piaget theory, which one out of the following will not influence one cognitive development? Piaget, according to Piaget, what he said? He said children are capable of gathering knowledge and development. There is no fixed trait of intelligence. Okay, and he also added that the cognitive development is influenced by biological maturation and its environment. So he haven't said anything about language. Yes, here the options are given: language, social experiences. Social experiences here is somehow related with environment, because our surrounding, he talks about experiences, and social experience is also a part of environment. So C, maturation. Yes, he talks about maturation, that is biological maturation. And D, activity. Yes, he says by activity he can develop his cognitive level. So the correct option, which one out of the following will not influence, this is language, according to Piaget. Okay, clear? Next slide. According to Vygotsky, children learn. Okay, options are given: when reinforcement is offered, B, by maturation, C, by imitation, D, by interacting with adults and peers. Yes, we have already discussed in a previous video with various examples and illustration that what actually Vygotsky says. Here he says we need some support from adult. We need to interact with more knowledgeable person in his theory. So our correct option here will be by interacting with adults and peer, not by imitation. Imitation means copying. Here he have not said that children copies the adult. He says by interaction the development occurs with more knowledgeable person, that is adults or his peer who knows about the things. Okay, next question. According to Vygotsky, zone of proximal development is, we have discussed what is zone of proximal development, that is ZPD. So who is watching this video and haven't watched earlier video, I request and recommend you, first you should watch the previous video so that your concept will be crystal clear about the theories. According to Vygotsky, zone of proximal development is, what is actually zone of proximal development? We all know, we have some, he says, each and every individual has some capability up to which he can solve. Suppose this is the area up to which he can solve by himself. Okay, but there is a range which he cannot solve by himself. Here it need some support. Okay, this zone is known as proximal development. This gap between the zone of himself doing and where he needs some support from more knowledgeable person. So our options are here. What the child can do her own which cannot be assessed. No. Zone demarking the support if offered by the teacher. No, this is not. See, gap between what the child can do independently and with assistance. Yes, this option is correct. The proximal development is, zone of proximal development is the gap between what the child can do independently and with assistance. This gap is known as zone of proximal development. Next question. The amount and type of scaffolding to a child would change developing on the, okay, scaffolding means it is the process in which the teacher or guide provide little support. Options are given: mood of teacher, B, reward offered for the task, C, level of child's performance, and D, child's innate abilities. Okay, where we need to provide support. Mood of teacher, this is obviously wrong. B, reward offered for the task, no. In scaffolding process or supporting process there is no such conditions. C, level of child performance, yes. What is his ability and what is his weak point? A teacher should guide him. Where he is weak, you should support and provide some tips. Okay, so our correct option will be option C, level of the child's performance. We can go for the next slide. According to socio-cultural theory of Vygotsky, what actually here says that according to Vygotsky's socio-cultural theory, what he says, options are given. Culture and language play a critical role in development. B, child thinks in different domains and does not take a complete perspectives. C, children think in abstract terms if presented abstract material at a lower age. D is given. Self-directed speech is the lowest stage of scaffold. Okay, we know, we have seen in earlier video about the theories of learning and Vygotsky theory. We have discussed here, we have discussed that this particular theory is based on socio-cultural development, socio-cultural interaction. Okay, our first option is given here as culture and language play a crucial role in development. Okay, so our correct option will be number A. Video is getting too long, so we have to finish here. There number of questions are left. Okay, so we have to stop. as time is going about 35 minutes. Okay, so we are concluding here. You go through the theory video and also practice. Next session we will discuss on the next questions, which are very important question. This question directly you may not face in your exam, may or may not, this question may come, but your concept will be crystal clear by solving, by practicing this question. If you can solve this question, definitely you can solve all the questions whatever given in your exam about these theories. Okay, so thank you for watching. Keep watching the videos here. Have a nice time ahead. Thank you. Bye bye.